The Vedas describe that time is not in fact linear, but more like a cycle. One particular cycle goes through 4 different ages called yugas. One full.
Oh my God. This is, by the way, something that many are like. I don't think they were talking about just because they thought like things happen in cycle. I don't think it's fair to say that they think the nature of time is not linear. I don't think they had comprehended a lot. They could comprehend a line time not being linear. I think they just describe things happening in cycles. And if you want to just make it sound more profound, you describe that as they didn't look at time in a linear way rather than a cycle. That's not no line. They saw line as a linear thing. They just thought there are cycles in history.
Full cycle lasts about 4,300,000 years. In all of the 4 yugas, it's described that humans are present. This hugely contradicts the theory of evolution. The Vedas accepts there has been and continue so-called primitive living beings on the earth. Yet they focus on ancient civilizations superior to our own. In the Satya...
What the hell is this? Oh my God, this is too much, guys. This is too much for me. This is a level of nonsense that it's just hard to digest.
Yuga, there was a small population of divine humans that came to Earth. They were direct descendants of the demigods, beings from higher worlds. By the time of the Treta Yuga, people developed cities, medicine, and a structured society, but was still not isolated from beings from other worlds. By the Dwapara Yuga, mankind was Earth-based, but still in regular contact with beings from other realms. At least some of the humans were. It is only now, in the Kali Yuga, which began about 5,000 years ago, that we're quite cut off and unable to perceive the other dimensions. And so the time cycle starts again.
My God. I have no comments. Let me see.
Looking at this, putting this whole thing now in a linear...
Trell saying, "LOL, this is straight out of Assassin's Creed." Is it? Katie saying, basically, the humans in the first... Wait, hold on. Again, my StreamYard is not updating again, so I'm going to rely on my phone. Basically, the human in the first era were closer to divinity, but as time passed, humans became corrupted and their lifespans decreased. This is a common theme, it seems to, among all the kind of other nonsense people say. People back then were so in touch with spiritual stuff, with like things that we cannot perceive today. All this technology is blinding us to our spiritual side. Either it's going to be to God. Okay, so the traditional Abrahamic religions are like, oh, we're getting farther and farther away from God. And then the New Age people is like, oh, we're getting farther and farther away from, I don't know, nature, spiritual woo stuff coming out of the ground, and we don't see it anymore. And these people are like, oh, as time goes by, we're getting out of touch with aliens. Why do they sound all alike? Like, I guess that makes sense for why they sound so much alike, because they say that we're like, hey guys, we have tools, we have methods to observe the universe that has proven to work for us. It's giving us results. It's giving us predictive powers, so we should suggest that it must be based in reality. It's giving us tools that work. It's giving us technology. These methods work, and we can observe. Based on the tools that we can make our observing powers a lot more than the senses that we have with these tools that we created. And but they have these nonsense theories about things that nobody is detecting. So they're like, but we used to detect them, because like no matter where you look, none of the stuff that these people say exist, right? So they want to. The strategy here. Let me tell you what happens. Okay. The strategy for telling people that the things that you say exist without you showing them is either you throw it to postmortem, to a time after you die. Like, you see it when you die, and if you die, there's no way you can come back and say, well, I didn't see anything, right? So you have to throw these ideas to a place where you can't go and measure, right? So you have to put it after death, or you throw it to a long time ago, or you throw it to a long time in the future, right? You just have to throw it somewhere where nobody could go check, right? And the problem with throwing it back in the past is that people could actually do go check, because we have like evidence and text of what people actually believed in. But you go and look at this scripture, you just come up with stuff like, yeah, they used to be in contact with gods or aliens or spiritual, like they talk to the rivers and rain talk to them, or they have their inner spirits talk to, like, everybody was in touch with something. I don't know. We just like our receivers just stop for some reason. This is what they all do. It doesn't matter what it's. You could be Hindu, you could be a conspiracy theorist, you could be a New Age person, you could be one of these Abrahamic religions. They use the same tactics because they work. These tactics work, right? There's always like a barrier between you. Where is the stuff that you're telling us? But they have to introduce a barrier for what you don't, for why you can't see it. There's something in your way. It's either electronic waves because of all this technology, or because you're sinning and your heart is corrupted, so that's why you can't hear God, or maybe it's mainstream media that is stopping you from seeing the real truth. It's something. There's some reason that they are seeing it, and no matter what they can do, they're not going to be able to show it to you, because you're looking and they're like, show me, and they're like, it's right there. You don't see it? You don't see it? No, I don't see it, because your eyes has been covered by something.
Function. For the cycle there in a one single linear function. Right now we will be about here. Ishvakumanu,
okay, so this is a good time to be, because it's enough time. It's far enough. Okay, so these people are a little bit more clever with their nonsense, because if you put it too close to the end, then you're like, tomorrow we're going to go back and reset the cycle, and we'll see the gods and the aliens, right? It's just gonna happen on this date next year, and then you wait and nothing happens, and everything is over, right? So you have to make sure that you put it far enough away from the end of times, or for the end of the cycle, for nobody to ever be able to show you, like, yeah, you were wrong, right? So this is what Muslims and Christians do as well. The end of times is when nobody knows. It could be 1,000 years from now. It could be tomorrow. So we don't know. So there's no way for them to be proven wrong.
Father of all humankind we know today lived at the beginning of this particular.
So yeah, this beginning is when we were in touch with the gods. We were seeing them.
Manu, the father of all humankind we know today, lived at the beginning of this particular cycle, the beginning of Satyuga. But this cycle is a small part of a much greater expanse of time.
Wow.
Look here. Vaishvatamanu was the first humanoid in this set of 71 Yuga cycles.
Where are they getting this
from?
Where are they getting? Okay, look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this number. You see, like, I don't know what this cycle is over here. I don't give a crap. But like 1.728. Like, I want somebody to do the calculation for me for why, like, where did they get this number from? And why is it 1.728 and not 1.729, right? Like, show, like, where are they pulling this out of? Because I have a suspicion that they're pulling it out of their ass! They're pulling all of this out of their ass!
A 14th of a kalpa, which lasts for 4.3 billion years. The origin of humankind at the beginning of was...
Okay, Katie's saying, actually Hinduism has a calculation for it. It is a few 100,000 years, LOL, but many Hindutva even today say Modi is an avatar of Vishnu who came to restore Dharma. I have no idea what I just read. But okay.
Svayambhuva and a kalpa is just a single day from the viewpoint of Lord Brahma, the architect of this universe, an original ancestor of all human beings who dwell here. Now let's focus on the Srimadbhavatam, the 5th canto, translation and commentary by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Here's some quotes within that, relevant for this study.
Guys, these are just people writing their opinions about what they okay, let's read this. Okay, they think people just sitting and coming out with like, and then the aliens came and then they talked to us and then they look like monkeys and then some of them look like reptiles and then they had flying ships and then they landed over here. They think this is like just somebody sitting on a chair and just coming up with like these stories. They call this studies, right? And then some idiot wrote some stupid stuff within our lifetime. This is not even ancient commentary, right? And they think like quoting them is like proof for why any of this is true, right? Like, let me quote this guy. What the? Yeah, sure, buddy. You're doing research. Go, sure. This is research. Oh, look at this. Look at all this proof this guy has. Look at all this proof he has. He's quoting some idiot somewhere that was in. Oh my god. And also subscribe to our newsletter, because if we get removed from all these platforms, at least we could reach out to you. And guys, by the way, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you get a free copy. Where's your copy, Susanna? Get it. We're doing promotion. You get a free. It's not even promotion. It's free. Okay, so if you subscribe to our newsletter, link in the description, you get a free copy of Why There's No God. Come on, like, I'm handing it out for free. Okay, it's a bestseller on Amazon, and you get it for free. So subscribe to our newsletter, and you get a free copy of Why There's No God sent to you. Link in the description.